The 2025 Kansas Speedway race wasn't just another Sunday drive. It was pure, chaotic theater. Fans came expecting 267 laps of strategy and speed. What they got was an emotional roller coaster, 2 overtimes, and a finish that left everyone stunned. At the end of it all, Chase Elliott, the quiet, calculating driver of the number 9 Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports, snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. Toyota had owned the day, but in the final few laps, they self-destructed. And Elliott, who'd spent most of the race lurking in the shadows, struck at the perfect moment. The race started under warm skies, the grandstands packed and buzzing. The air at Kansas Speedway always carries that restless energy. Fans know that this track, with its wide corners and multiple grooves, breeds unpredictability. From the drop of the green flag, Denny Hamlin was in command. His number, 11 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota, was a missile, smooth, balanced, unstoppable. He won Stage 1, then Stage 2, leading more than 120 laps. If NASCAR races were judged by dominance, Hamlin had it wrapped up by halfway. But dominance doesn't guarantee victory in NASCAR. It guarantees pressure. Then came the slow pit stop, the kind that kills momentum in an instant. A lug nut snag, a half-second delay. When Hamlin pulled out, he dropped from 1st to 6th. Just like that, clean air was gone, and chaos started brewing. Up front, Bubba Wallace in the number 23 Toyota and Christopher Bell in the number 20 led the charge. They'd been fast all day, locked in sync as Toyota teammates. Behind them, Hamlin clawed back, determined to recover. And just behind him, Chase Elliott, calm, collected, waiting. He wasn't the fastest, he wasn't the flashiest, but his team had made a critical call: 4 fresh tires during the final pit sequence. Everyone else, 2. That tiny difference would change everything. The first overtime came and went with near misses. Cars sliding, sparks flying, the crowd on its feet. The second overtime restart lined up with Wallace on the outside, Bell inside, and Hamlin right behind them. Elliott lined up 4th, ready to pounce. When the green dropped, the Toyotas went to war. Wallace and Bell battled wheel to wheel, trading paint through turns 1 and 2. Wallace pushed Bell a little high entering turn 3, not malicious, just hungry. Bell had to lift, and Wallace grabbed the edge. White flag, 1 lap to glory. Hamlin saw his moment. With no power steering, yes, no power steering for the last 30 laps, he muscled that Toyota down low. The car wobbled, fighting him every inch. He slid up the track just a hair too much and clipped Wallace's left side. Metal on metal. Sparks. The crowd gasped. Wallace scraped the wall and lost momentum. Hamlin bobbled. Both Toyotas lost speed, and Chase Elliott rocketed underneath like a shark in open water. The number 9 Chevrolet powered past both of them in the blink of an eye, 4 fresh tires biting into the asphalt. The Hendrick car crossed the finish line first. The crowd erupted. Elliott had stolen it. It was his second win of the 2025 season, both heart-stopping, both in double overtime. His first came at Atlanta, another race where he refused to quit. With this Kansas win, Elliott added 5 more playoff points and locked himself into the round of 8. Meanwhile, the Toyota camp was in disbelief. They had dominated the day, swept the stages, and still watched the wins slip away. Hamlin finished 2nd, heroic but hollow. Wallace crossed the line 3rd, his shot at a playoff miracle now hanging by a thread. Reddick brought his car home 5th. Bell, after his earlier contact, faded to 7th. After climbing out, Hamlin took the blame but didn't hide his frustration. "We had the car to beat," he said. "I went for it. Maybe I should have given Bubba more space. But when you're that close to a win, you go for it. That's what we do." Bubba's emotions were raw. He'd fought back from 19th in Stage 1, clawed through traffic, demanded adjustments over the radio, and rebuilt his race. "Every run, we got better," he said. "I told my guys, keep digging, we can win this thing." We almost did. For Tyler Reddick, it was another day of what if. He started 12th, charged into the top 5 early, then got shuffled back by a slow stop. He finished 5th, solid points, but not enough. Like Wallace, Reddick now faces a must-win scenario heading into Charlotte. Chase Elliott's day, though, was a masterclass in patience. He never pushed when the car wasn't right. He stayed within striking distance, gathered stage points, and waited for chaos. Crew Chief Alan Gustafson's call for 4 fresh tires before the final restart was bold. Most of the field took 2. It gave Elliott grip when the Toyotas lost theirs. That moment of strategy turned a 4th-place car into a race-winning machine. The win boosted Elliott's total to 3,540 points, comfortably above the cut line. Before Kansas, he was barely hanging on in 7th. Now, he heads into the round of 8, locked in and loaded. Hendrick Motorsports desperately needed this. The team had been inconsistent for weeks. Larson finishing 6th, Byron salvaging 9th, Bowman struggling. But Kansas reignited their confidence. You could feel it in the post-race celebrations. Relief, validation, momentum. Behind the leaders, Kansas was a survival test. Brad Keselowski claimed 8th, best of the non-playoff drivers. Shane Van Gisbergen turned heads again. After starting nearly a lap down due to a pit penalty, he stormed back to finish 10th. That guy just refuses to stay down. Ross Chastain finished 11th after fading on the long runs. Team Penske's night was a mix of grind and frustration. Joey Logano battled through damage to finish 21st, cutting his playoff buffer from 24 to just 13 points. Ryan Blaney showed speed but lacked the edge to compete up front. Austin Cindric buried outside the top 25. By race's end, the playoff picture looked like a pressure cooker. One race left before eliminations, the Charlotte Roval. Bubba Wallace and Tyler Reddick sit more than 20 points below the line. They need a win or they're out. Joey Logano and Ross Chastain cling to the bubble, while Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, and Kyle Larson look safe. For now, Kansas delivered everything NASCAR fans crave. Multiple racing lanes, real strategy, tire wear, drama, and heart. Drivers traded positions every lap. You could pass low, high, or cross someone over in the next corner. Fans rated it near perfect on the excitement scale, 95 out of 100. The only lull was a 30-minute red flag delay late in the race, but honestly, it just built more tension. And yes, it wouldn't be a Kansas race without a little chaos. Rookie Zane Smith went viral after scraping the wall in a shower of sparks, his car grinding sideways down the straight. The crowd held its breath until he climbed out, unhurt. For Front Row Motorsports, that was the lone bright moment in a rough season. Kansas also gave us a crystal clear view of team strength. On short, flat ovals, Team Penske remains sharp. On intermediate tracks like Kansas, Joe Gibbs Racing and Hendrick Motorsports are the benchmark. Toyota's raw speed is undeniable, but mistakes keep costing them when it counts. That balance sets the stage for an unpredictable round of 8. One intermediate track, one super speedway, and one short oval. No one will have an easy ride. Kansas didn't decide a champion, but it exposed everything. The teams under pressure, the ones finding momentum, and the ones cracking under the spotlight. For Joey Logano, the Roval will be a battle of precision. One mistake could erase his season. For Bubba Wallace and Tyler Reddick, it's win or go home. And for Chase Elliott, he's back where he belongs. Confident, composed, and dangerous. The 2025 Kansas race was more than just a finish. It was a statement. So if you loved that finish, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. Because if Kansas was this wild, just wait until Charlotte. The playoffs are heating up and the drama's only getting started.